Hello, and welcome to another episode of Financial Basics with Successful Living with Reginald Campbell. I am the budget guy, Charles Beasley, as Instructor Campbell likes to say it. And this week I have two really good topics to go over with you. So let's just get into it, okay? So the first topic I have is emergency funds. What are emergency funds, you say? Or emergency fund. And we will talk about that. But emergency funds is one of the main components of your budget. Why should you have emergency fund in your budget? It's because emergency fund or funds are your budget's main defense against unexpected expenses and life issues that come up. They allow you to handle things without having to adjust your budget. One of the main things you want once you get your budget together and you start tracking your budget and everything is to make minimal adjustments to your budget. If you have a life experience, if you have something that pops up that's an emergency, that's unexpected, you really want to have a plan for that and don't want to have to touch your budget or manipulate your budget or do something that is out of the ordinary to handle that expense. Your emergency fund is there exactly for that purpose. So what are the dynamics of an emergency fund? There are really two kinds of emergency funds. Some people, they have one emergency fund, one big fund that they call for all emergencies. Other people, they have two different types of emergency funds. They have a small emergency fund and they have a large emergency fund. Small emergency funds are usually between $300 and $500, and they usually handle small, unexpected bills like, say, a tire blowing out or a small medical bill because you get to take your kids to the doctor or something like that, and a small bill came along with that. Large emergency funds are usually from like $3,000 to $5,000, and that's for homeowners. If you are renting, it's more like $1,500 to $3,000 because you're not responsible for those big ticket items that homeowners normally are responsible for. But the the large emergency funds handle those larger unexpected bills like an air conditioning unit going out at your house, or a utility issue where you have a plumbing leak or something like that you have to pay for. Again, if you're renting, you don't have those big responsibilities, but you do have to cover issues like that happen with your car. Maybe you have your starter on your car goes out, or you need to replace something in your car that is broken or damaged or whatever. You still need money to cover those things. So having those funds established is very important. Like I said, to making sure that those issues are covered, and you don't have to do anything in your budget except for pull from your emergency funds. Your emergency funds should be a line item in your budget because you need to feed them. Now, what many people do is they have a threshold. So let's say your emergency fund, you want to have $5,000 in your emergency fund. And you have one emergency fund, $5,000. So let's say you have a line item in your budget and you are saving up, and you get to that $5,000 threshold. Now, a lot of people at that point say, okay, I've got my threshold, my emergency fund is established. I'm going to divert the funds in the subsequent months to savings. So instead of putting money into your emergency fund and continuing to build your emergency fund, they'll put it into savings until a life happens or an issue happens where they have to pull from it, and then they will divert those funds back into replenishing their emergency fund. Excuse me. Other people, they keep funding their emergency fund regardless of what the threshold is. They just keep putting money in it because we all know life will happen. So a recommendation for emergency funds is that you keep them separate, in a separate account, all by themselves, away from your other money. Reason for that is, one, access. A lot of people, if that money is mingled with other money, it's very easy for them to access those funds accidentally or purposefully. Also, clarification. You know exactly how much you have in your emergency fund if all you're putting in that one particular account is your emergency fund money. So it gives you real good clarification of where you're at, how much emergency fund you have, and what you're dealing with. This is something that's championed by most financial planners and CPAs, and it's a way of having financial discipline. So emergency funds, again, to wrap this up and put a bow on it, emergency funds are definitely vital to your budget, and they're definitely needed. What you need to do is make sure that you have one established, you have one accounted for, so that as you continue to track your budget and move forward in your financial life, that your budget is protected and your emergency fund is intact. So, and there's other things to talk about with emergency funds, but I just wanted to hit a couple of basic principles of it. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to submit online. We can definitely come back in a subsequent episode to talk more about it. But we'll move on to the second topic, and then I'll get out of your hair. The next topic, I got a lot of questions over the last week or two from people, and this is the time of year where you're getting tax returns, you're getting your bonuses, you're getting salary increases. And then people were asking me, hey, what should I do with this? Or what's the best thing for me to do with this? I'm not a financial planner, first of all. I'm going to say that disclaimer. I'm not a CPA, but I have read a lot, and I know some financial planners, and of course I have a CPA that does my finances. And I can share some tips that I have for you and what I've read and understood. And, like I say, you can take it and leave it. I understand either way. But as far as your tax returns and your bonuses, like I said, you're getting this money, and the first thing you need to do is have a plan. Have a plan for the money. When you get it, say, okay, this is what I'm going to do with it. This is my plan. A lot of people, when they get this money, they go and do them. Oh, I'm going to buy me a new TV. I'm going to go do this. I'm going on a shopping spree, this, that, and this, that. What financial experts say, they're telling you to do one or more of the following things. First thing, pay off. Take the money and target a bill or some bills and pay them off. What that will do, that will put you ahead with your budget, and that will put you ahead with your debt management. It will help your credit, and it will be beneficial in multiple ways. The second thing they say, if you pay off, pay down. So if you don't pay off, target a couple of bills and look to pay down the balances on those bills. Again, benefits. Your credit will improve because we talked about it in a previous episode, but your credit score, one of the things that affects your credit score is how much debt you actually have. Credit card debt, if it gets over 30%, your credit score goes down. Then that's 30% of the credit that you are allowed. So let's say you have a credit card and then you have a $10,000 credit limit. If you have a balance of over $3,000 on that $10,000 card, it will negatively impact your credit. So paying down actually helps your credit and your credit score go up, which of course allows you to get better loans, and it puts you in a better position to be approved for more things. And then the last thing is pay it forward. So people can take the money and put it towards something that they're planning to do, like a vacation, put it into a college fund, or a large upcoming purchase that they know that they're going to get into. Put it towards that, and that again helps you to keep your debt down or eliminate that debt. Also, it allows you to not have to touch your budget and do things how you want to with ease. So for salary increases, there's some things that the financial experts say a couple of different things. And again, these are just recommendations. They're not must-dos. It's up to you how you want to handle it and how you want to do it. But many financial experts say that to handle salary increases, they suggest that you take the increase, the amount of money that you're increased by, and save it. So take it out of your check, or have your direct deposit form changed, and have that specific increased amount be direct deposited into a savings account, or into an investment fund, or into your 401k. But take that increase and put it to something where you're saving it or investing it. The second thing that they say you can do is take that increase and put it into home improvement projects that will improve and increase the value of your property. So let's say you had a house and you got a $5,000 increase. Well, the experts are saying you could take that $5,000 and put it into an irrigation system for your house, which will increase the value of your house. But you can put a new coat of paint on the outside of your house. You can add amenities to your house that will add value, again, giving you a chance to increase the assets that you have. So, I mean, these are two things that the financial experts are saying. Again, you can choose to do them, you can choose not to do them, you can choose to do something else. But just wanted to inform you so that you are aware that these are some things that you can do that will help you and will benefit you going forward. So with that said, last thing I want to tell you is the goal should be not to increase your debt or your standard of living too much beyond your current level. As you increase in your salary and your career, you want to be calculated in how you take those funds and invest them, spend them, or allocate them, so that you are putting yourself in the best position possible to be successful and to get to the goal that you eventually want to be at. So with that being said, I am the financial guy, Charles Beasley, and this was my lesson. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next month.